Tom says, last I checked, we were near the Sharifat Mountains. Uh-oh. Seems I got some good news and I got some bad news, Tom said. The bad news is the battery is dead. No map. They don't blame me, it's a design flaw as far as I'm concerned. They say the 6G is going to address that shit. What's the good news, I asked. There is no good news. It's just I've always wanted to say I've got some good news, some bad news. Then the pig says, mission accomplished, dumbbell. It's because you wasted half the damn battery playing Angry Birds, you idiot. Tom says, birds against pigs, Broham. Best game ever. Shalom, that's the pig. His name was Jerry, but when he converted to Judaism, he changed it to Shalom and got circumcised. Maybe I should have mentioned that earlier. Shalom was hot, tired, thirsty, and as pissed as a wild boar. We're going to schlep around in the desert forever, you bird brain, he moaned. I would kill for a seltzer. You're like a damn tourist trap. And don't call me Broham. It's because of ham. Wander we did, in what could have been circles for all we knew, keeping shy of the armed border guards, and looking for another crack in the wall, where maybe we could squeeze through and get to Jerusalem. It sure was a hell of a lot easier to go from Israel to Palestine than Palestine to Israel. Shalom was still stewing, lost in his own bubbly water thoughts and egg cream dreams, when a stone landed a few feet away from him. I like egg creams. We looked up, Maddie likes egg creams. We looked up and saw what I took to be some Arab children about 30 yards away from us, yelling taunts in our general direction, but specifically at the pig. It's because I'm Jewish, Shalom explained. No, Tom said, it's because you're a pig. Muslims revile pigs too. Shalom raised up and yelled back at the kids, have a BLT, suckers. The cow says, do you really think it helps to fight hatred with hatred? The pig says, I'm not fighting hatred with hatred, I'm fighting hatred with ignorance. It's a fine distinction. This is how it's done in this part of the world. Each side plays their part like actors, he pontificated. And he went back to cursing the kids out in his porcine Yiddish. Now the initial group of 2 or 3 boys was joined by about 10 others. And what had been the occasional pebble tossed our way became a full-on fusillade. Lori, how do you pronounce that word? Fusillade. I can write it, but I can't say it. Of all sorts of desert projectiles. As Shalom again turned to make his religious stand, a rock bounced off his shoulder. If I back down here, he argued, it's like dominoes. They'll just keep coming. And where will it end? Not until they've murdered every last one of us. I said, that's totally illogical. And you could get us all killed. Tom deftly blocked a rock, speeding for his head. Unfortunately, using the limb that was holding the phone. The glass shattered, no more upgrade, no more battery, no more phone. Shalom held his beloved Torah above his head and waved it like a flag at the boys trying to get their goats. A big stone crashed into the nailed bed of the hoof holding his Torah, and Shalom dropped it on the sand, cradling his bleeding hoof. Fresh blood dripped on the old book. I snuck behind Shalom and gave him a swift kick with my hind legs to get him moving. My Torah, he yelled. It's only a book, I snorted in reply. Just then a big gob of viscous spit shimmied through the air and landed on my head with an audible plop. I looked up to see a camel staring at me. I'd only seen one in the encyclopedia, but I knew it was a camel. And this is a cow, remember? And I was relieved when he spoke to me in standard animal Esperanto I could understand. What kind of wacky dromedary are you? He asked. Where is your hump, if you don't mind my asking? I'm a cow from America, I said. I'm kidding. I know you're a cow. Cows originated here along with the first civilizations. I've been all around the world myself. I used to model in the States. Had a big cigarette campaign. My own brand named after me. Even had a day, Wednesday. Perhaps you've heard of Hump Day. But they let me go when I got too old. He looked like he might cry, and he spat again. Sorry, that's a nasty habit. I'm going to quit. A rock landed at his feet. Name's Joseph, but you can call me Joe. Joe Campbell. But you probably knew that on account of my fame and such, modeling. He whipped on a pair of sunglasses. Recognize me now? He struck a pose, lit up a cigarette, and acted as if you were looking at a watch. He said, I call this, oh yes, I have the time. Not bad, right? Where do you want to get to? He asked in between a seemingly endless array of modeling freeze frames until he struck with the precision of an Olympic gymnast. He froze with one leg bent in the air, something like this. This one's called Hoofing It, 97. Jerusalem, Cap says. Ah, he sighed. Well, you're on the wrong side of the fence. First you got to get to and through Ramallah. And he struck a pose where he seemed to be laughing at some joke no one else heard. Let me try and do this for you. I've never tried to do it, but it would be something like this. So he says, I call this one, The World Is My Oyster, or The Clooney. Joe, I think that's a killer pose, and I'd like to see some more, but do you think you could first help us get to a safer place where you can vogue, where rocks maybe aren't raining down on our heads? Follow me, he spat, and trotted off nearly as fast as a horse. That's it.